It's a good place to end the intro right there, I think. This is Propaganda Report. I'm Brad Binkley, joined by Ian Covell. The most consequential... Wait a minute. I'm reading the wrong retarded thing, actually. I can't even read the right title to start. Way to start it off out of the bat. Here, let's do that again. Hold on. Epstein's MKUltra link. Day 100 of Trump's second term, man. Belichick's babe. This is the Propaganda Report. I am Brad Binkley, joined by Ian Covell, who had an injury last show.
I'm okay.
It's unfortunate. You strained your...
Yeah.
What was it? Your vocal cord?
My neck vocal cords.
Yeah. Did I just dip out again? Why does it do this every freaking...
But it puts me on the spotlight, and I don't have anything prepared. You're the one that has everything prepared for the show.
It's just like improv. Give Ian a suggestion. Ian, you're a what's it called? You're a doctor. You're a butt doctor, and you have on a really expensive watch.
I'm a blood doctor. Okay.
I'll be right back, and we're going to talk about Epstein and all this stuff.
All right. Okay. Well, I got good news and I got bad news. Well, as your blood doctor, like I said, good news and bad news. Good news is you have blood. That's the good news. Bad news is you're dying because of it, and that's because your blood is poison. So I wish I had better news, but I don't have anything prepared. Brad has everything prepared. Then he puts me on the spot like this. I don't even know what to talk about. Now he's back. Nah, he's back.
What's crazy is this.
Now he's back.
Well, actually, I was going to say this doesn't happen. Oh, did you? You guys had a good.
And then I go, and then you come back, and now I'm on the other side, and it looks like I'm the host of the show when I'm on this side.
Well, you got to throw people curveballs every now and then. That would keep them on their toes. So, are you more comfortable on the other side of?
I like being on the other side. I don't know. It feels like where there we go.
Okay, there we go.
I just feel like this is the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's like, it does feel good this way. Okay, I really don't know why it does that. It cut out the other day to make 10 minutes to get back on during another show I was doing, but it's weird. It usually does it when we're doing the show. I think it's probably because I have so many things open and my computer's getting old. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm glad your vocal cords are feeling better. We're going to get you and Reginald on the same screen at some point in time. I know that...
He seems funny.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Dark
really
Reginald
funny.
Appeared. And Dana was worried about him after what went down last week during my conversation with progressive Dark Reginald. I have not checked in on him. He won't return my calls. He made an angry tweet at me, and that's the only communication I have had from him. So at Reginald V Actor, if you want to go troll him. Let's dive in. So I've been watching some of this coverage of the first 100 days, and here's kind of the feel of the reporting of Trump's first 100 days. Trump's first 100 days: chaos, crashing economy, crippling division, Doge cuts, deportations, dead Pope, Elon, executive orders, Gulf of America, gutting democratic institutions, peaking prices, protest, Putin, signal chats and Sieg Heils, Tesla's tariffs, and tired. We're all so damn tired. Yes, that's like the and then the other side. Well, Trump is like, this has been the best first 100 days of any president ever, or any emperor for that matter. We're thinking about doing a third term. Just complete opposites. And I
love the signs. I love the signs that he puts out in front of the White House.
Oh, I heard about it. I didn't see them. What do they say?
Oh, it's great. I mean, they're long row of signs, and I just imagine he's like, no, straighten that one. That one's a little crooked.
Put a little gold on that one, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
it'd be funny if the metal that sticks a sign in the ground is made of...
Yeah, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite moments from the first 100 days or anything that stuck out to you the most?
Yeah, I enjoyed. I guess the Canada stuff may have backfired. I don't know, but I did enjoy the the bashing of Trudeau. I enjoyed all of the coming and the
All
people
of
who
the
came.
coming?
All of the coming. I enjoyed all of it, every last bit of it.
That's good.
I loved all of the people coming to
Yeah.
Trump and bending their knees and
Right.
groveling and making
Yeah.
idiots out of themselves and just showing how pathetic they were. Um, that's been fun. It's been fun. ICE has been fun. I still think that when they catch someone, they should go, "You've been iced." And
And Christy Nome she's
yeah,
just finger bombing herself
yeah,
while she's
"You've been iced."
yeah. Shoot him with an ice gun.
Yeah, I do think that's that. Yeah, that's what they could do. They could freeze them, and then they could send all the illegal immigrants out in frozen
Just
ice
float them
cube.
into the ocean.
Yeah, float the ice ocean away.
Yeah, they'll melt eventually.
Yeah.
Deportations are still less than what they were at 100 days for Biden.
Damn
Now,
it, we
people
gotta
coming
work
in,
harder.
the ones coming in has definitely dropped significantly, but a lot of the perception of it is because this is a big PR LARPing event. They're featuring every time she goes out looking like a sex doll, and also both sides of it. The left is also kind of feeding into it, and it really, comparatively, Biden deported more. Obama might have also. I don't know the exact numbers there, but it's just interesting the way the perception can be so different, even though the numbers aren't. But it is impactful to not have people coming in because maybe it creates a fear of people coming in.
And I like watching judges get arrested. That's cool.
Oh, do you?
I have to say, never thought I would enjoy watching a judge get arrested. But
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Zach wants to make him drink a Smirnoff Ice
Yes,
because
yes.
you're a real fag if you put one of those in your mouth. And those immigrants they're all gang members. They don't like to be called that.
Smirnoff Ice.
Nobody's scared of a gang member, no matter how many tattoos or Bulls jerseys, if they're drinking a Smirnoff Ice or a Zima,
So
for that
fucking
matter.
Disgusting. Do they still make Zima?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there was another one.
The coverage of everything, it's just so predictable. You could have said exactly what we've seen the past week before Trump took office. They already knew how they were going to report it, just like Trump already knew how he was going to interpret it. No, regardless of what happened, both sides knew exactly how day 100, which they always have to highlight these big milestones for people, even though it's meaningless.
Ridiculous. What do you
It's completely meaningless.
Yeah, yeah.
They did the same thing as first term, exact same thing as first term, and they did the same thing during Biden's term, just roles were reversed.
Yeah.
Exact same thing every time. And it's like a big everything's a big propaganda event for them. But yeah, I think my favorite, the moment that sticks out for me, is I really liked when he said he would not deport Prince Harry because his wife is so horrible and it's already so bad for him.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. What about least favorite moments?
Yeah, I think those are kind of right now. Least favorite moments. Not a big fan of it. It seems the whole tariff stuff seemed a little. This seems a little pointless. It seems like, I don't know. That's kind of my least favorite stuff is kind of what's going on right now. That he hasn't really. The economy is still in the same place. Essentially, there hasn't been any movement. Really.
Yeah.
That's kind of my least favorite thing.
It's the best economy ever.
But what do you expect in 100? What do you expect? What do you expect? You got to let the guy, do his thing.
You got to let him cook.
Yeah, man.
I hate that phrase. I hate that saying so bad.
Yeah, what would you let him barbecue?
Let him rotisserie.
Let him rotisserie.
Let him rotisserie. You let him bake, maybe. Maybe not as. I feel like that's a little bit more. You can be manly and bake, but also
let the man bake. Just
Right.
let the man bake.
let the man vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah. My least favorite part would be the anti-Semitism.
Oh, really? You don't like
kept-
that? It's not enough. For
No,
you?
the fact that they're making a priority to go after very vaguely defined anti-Semitism, because that's the exact
that's a
type of
pretty stupid
identity
part.
politics that he ran against.
You know what? I do have to say I am not enjoying the fact that he's just engaging in a lot of the mirror image of what they did. Like he's kind of given in. Like, oh, this is the way you're going to do it now.
Right. Yeah, I don't like that either, and especially because this idea of we're shutting down all the woke, and then we're just going to do our own ism over here after shutting down these.
Gulf of America is one of my favorite things. Now that I have time to reflect a little bit more, Gulf of America is great. I like Gulf of America because it forces the wokies to dead name something.
Oh,
that
God,
is
really
that is
tough
fun.
there. Yeah.
You know, that's funny to me. I like that kind of petty stuff.
You really like to call out dead namers, don't you?
Yeah.
Especially when it's the other side dead naming.
Yeah, like
Your dream is to catch
Ellen-
a trans dead naming somebody else.
Yeah, that is my dream. I want to catch Elliot Page dead naming somebody.
Or God forbid himself.
Yeah, like accidentally.
Accidentally he does it. Doesn't for a
refers to
minute
himself.
he forgets.
Yeah. What the hell? Oh, that's the other guy.
Yeah, you did it. You did it. All right. So, real quick, last week we went through that Epstein document that no one talks about because
so much.
there's no access to it through the Google search. You have to go on legal case law search to find it.
Yes.
What we went through, because I found out some more information that's kind of blowing my mind, and I'm still going through some of it, and I wanted to give an update. What we went through is a plea negotiation letter, the one that got him that infamous sweetheart deal back in 2007, when he was facing life in prison, potentially ended up getting 13 months. He got to stay at his own house pretty much the entire time. Had to go like on the weekends a little bit to the in fact, a prison he actually funded a wing of building, and he got nothing basically, and so this letter is largely what got him that deal. And in that letter, to just to recap, it cites powerful names and institutions that he's worked with, helped, or donated to the causes of, to illustrate how much of a saint Epstein has been throughout his life, how much good he has done in the world. So to say, this is why you should give him that deal that he did in fact get.
He fixed that one kid's eye. Well,
He made the one eye stronger by taking the other one out with that research.
Taking the other eye out. Yeah, he fixed
I
that eye
would really
for good.
like to find out who those unnamed employees that he did all these fertility and eye experimentations on.
Hey, I need to change my insurance information. Oh, you got to go see the boss.
Yeah.
You got to go see Mr.
You look
Epstein.
like you have fertility problems and a kid with an eye issue.
Hey,
Yeah,
let us make your wife a little more fertile. You know what I mean?
yeah. What do you say? Right. Yeah, no, that sounds like a big mafia operation, and I think I'm going to blow your mind even more with this because, well, some of those names we did recognize as being associated with Epstein. I don't know if people knew that they actually helped him get that deal, like Bill Clinton, the Rockefeller Institute, the Trilateral Commission. Other names, one in particular, nobody had heard of in the context of Epstein, because you can't even find anything on the internet except for like one or two articles from 30 years ago that reference them together. And so this guy's never been called out for his relationship with Epstein. And that is Martin Seligman. It's Seligman. How do you pronounce that?
Let me see it. Can I see it?
Seil.
Seil.
Seligman. Let me see if I can get that pronounced.
Seligman.
Seligman. Siegheil.
Seligman. Seligman.
You know what we're gonna call it? Seligman. We're gonna go with that, right or not? Martin Seligman. So Seligman, his name comes up in the part of the letter, and I'll show it to you guys again on screen. Because I'm trying to get this out here as much as possible before Ian Carroll discovers it. I have to mention that. All right. Here's where his part comes in. Just to recap again, In the past 4 years alone, they're talking about all of the donations to the great causes of science that Epstein has made. Mr. Epstein has made grants to research programs and major institutions under the supervision of the most highly regarded research professionals and scholars in their fields. Skipping the ones we're not talking about, and then it says, including Martin Seligman, known for his work on positive psychology. That is to say, the psychology of personal fulfillment. Now, Martin Seligman, in the past 4 years, this letter was posted or was written in 2007. So between 2003 and 2007 must have been when the donations or grants were made. And the research program or major institutions that Martin Seligman worked on in that time period, 2003 specifically, he founded what was called the Positive Psychology Center at the University of Pennsylvania. University of Pennsylvania was a hub back in the day for MKUltra research. A lot of doctors and researchers from Australia came over, worked with many of the psychologists here, including Seligman. We'll wrap around back to who one of those doctors is here in a moment. But again, as we learn a little bit more about this guy and this institute, this guy's name is mentioned here in a letter that got Jeffrey Epstein that deal. For one reason, because Epstein donated to this guy's institute and his research. Now, the other people who are named here, they got called out. Some of them lost their jobs at Harvard for a little while and the institutes they ran. Others just said, I don't care. I supported it. And they don't care. They're too old. This guy is still the head of this research institute at Penn. He's 82 years old, still doing his work. And he also has a long history of working with the government. So he is the founder of the learned helplessness theory. He developed the theory of learned helplessness.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
And he was ranked as the 31st most cited psychologist of the 20th century back in 2002. He was cited repeatedly in Ted Kaczynski's manifesto. He was the former president of the American Psychological Association, and his learned helplessness research in the 70s, he conducted what was called inescapable shock training. He tortured dogs to the point of them being so psychologically traumatized that they would not even attempt to escape through an open crate door. His research is cited in like every single list of the top 10 worst, most immoral psychological research of all time. Usually in the top 5, ahead of some that you might think like ahead of the human experiment, the Stanford Milgram experiments, or what it's called. And I think number 3 or 4 is where it usually comes in. And this research theory of his, this learned helplessness theory, which, mind you, this is the foundation of this institute that he created in 2003, which Epstein seems to have helped fund. I would like to know more answers to that. I would like to have these questions asked. That's why I'm continuing to put this out there. But this theory became the framework for the Bush administration's and the CIA's torture program after 9/11. The CIA met with Seligman, I think at his home in the beginning in December of 2001 after September 11th to learn more about his theory of learned helplessness. And in the meeting, along with a bunch of CIA agents, Seligman said that there was also at least one Israeli intel agent there as well, because there's always a Jew connection. There's always a Jew connection. Now, he claims not to have known that the CIA was going to use his research, his learned helplessness research, to torture people, even though he tortured a bunch of animals to develop it. There is a bunch of statements and information that might make you think he's not necessarily telling the truth there. This is a guy who is very arrogant, he is very arrogant. He talks about how psychologists are going to be the new rock stars. We're going to be super, super famous. He was all about we need to kill the Al-Qaeda and all them, any means necessary, very much a warmonger, the type of person who might seem to be happy to lend his research to torture. His personality seems to support that and not support his denials of this. He says the CIA did it without me knowing, even though he met with him over and over and over again And the goal of the CIA's interrogation program, which was based on this theory, was to induce a state of learned helplessness. Very simply, to get them to torture them until they felt they had no choice but comply with the questioning. So that was according to a Justice Department's Office of Personal Responsibility report in 2009. So this guy, again, Epstein funded this guy according to this letter. Now, I would think that if that was not true, he would have objected to that and said, why are you using me and lying about me to help somebody facing life in prison get 13 months on vacation? That seems to have never happened. So without objection, you have to think that there is support.
Sure.
Because I don't think the 22nd most cited psychologist who worked with the CIA would not be told that he was being used to help Epstein get this deal. That's my theory. He was also later, this is after he created that institute, and this is after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of a sex crime in 2007. He became a member of the Defense Health Board, which is a federal advisory committee of the Secretary of Defense. He became a member of an advisory board to the Secretary of Defense after he helped Jeffrey Epstein get a sweetheart deal, and after he took a bunch of money to help his institute get started. That's probably part of why you're not going to hear some of these connections, because this guy's deep involvement with government.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It gets even crazier. Fast forward to 2010. He receives in 2010, where is it? Him and his Positive Psychology Center, which Epstein seems to have helped fund in the beginning. He was given a $31 million no-bid contract from the Army for resilience training. They said he's the only one that can do it, to teach soldiers to better cope with the psychological strain of multiple combat tours. This guy is an expert in mind control and brainwashing, MKUltra type research.
That's fucked up.
The dude has been paid $31 million to work for the government. Wow. He has been an advisor to the DOD. This is why you're not getting Epstein files, people. Because this is this. It would have to expose. This is all after they gave him $31 million after Jeffrey Epstein had been convicted of a sex crime. All these other people got condemned for this. This guy has not even been brought up except on this show. And I'm not exaggerating. This is the only show that has brought up this guy's connection to Jeffrey Epstein. So all those other people don't know how to do real research. Of course, I don't know how to make real money, so they have me there. Touche, guys. Whatever. But it gets even weirder. So he published multiple books in the course of his career, doing his research, this guy did. 3 of them, I think, actually it might be more than 3. A number of them he published on behavioral modification type stuff, mind control type stuff, with an Australian doctor who studied hypnosis and mind control at the University of Sydney. And then he came over to Penn, where he met our guy and Epstein's guy, Seligman, the guy who helped Epstein. He came over here and became a lifelong colleague with Seligman, wrote many books, did a bunch of research with him. And this is a guy who also, while in Sydney, worked underneath the guy who ran their MKUltra program. They had a kind of a parallel MKUltra program that was funded by the Air Force. This doctor and a longtime colleague, he's named Anthony Kidman. Does that name ring a bell? Nicole Kidman's father.
Really?
Nicole Kidman's father, a guy who died in 2014 in Singapore under mysterious circumstances. Ultimately, they ruled it a heart attack. But all the reports afterwards were something funny was happening, and then they kind of got swept under the rug. While he was being investigated, for child abuse allegations. And he is, I don't know, I haven't been able to corroborate the accusations made by a woman over in Australia. But they're very bad. They're cults. They're Jeffrey Epstein-like allegations. They're everything that Jeffrey Epstein's been accused of and worse. And it all ties back around to this dude working with this Kidman guy who worked with MKUltra programs funded by the Air Force, came over here. He was also connected to the CIA. $31 million given to this guy after they knew Epstein had. I mean, the government knew that Epstein had been convicted. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was with the government prosecutors who made that deal. And they give this guy money. Nobody mentions that in the news. You're never getting Epstein files, people. This is what you're going. This is the best Epstein file you are going to get.
Yeah.
And there's more too. Like every time I was up till like 3 a.m. because I kept finding. I was like, all this is crazy. I just haven't synthesized all of it yet. But isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman's your favorite actress, if that's true. I apologize.
She's probably got. I know she's my favorite actress, but she's probably got some Epstein files.
Dude, what was the movie she was in? You remember?
Oh, what was it called again?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, that's right. That movie's creepy, man. Oh, that movie's so creepy.
Is it? I mean, that is like a weird. I mean, that's the type of stuff her father was accused of. Just weird cult stuff. Except some of it with. I mean, some of it's really dark. Getting some of that research, and you know, it's you want to corroborate all that, but even separate from all the accusations that he faced, he was definitely a doctor who researched mind control, who worked underneath a guy who did the MKUltra stuff funded by the Air Force, who came over and wrote multiple books on behavioral modification with the guy who pioneered the framework for the CIA torture program based on the learned helplessness theory, who Epstein funded his institute.
Learned helplessness is creepy. You know, that got my imagination spinning about what poor people are suffering after they've been, you know, after they succumb to that bullshit.
People sued the government over some I can't remember who it was that sued. Might have been some soldiers. I don't know. There's a handful of people who sued based on the theory that learned helplessness was created. But all of this dude's research would seem to fit perfectly with someone like Jeffrey Epstein wanting to control a bunch of what's it called when you fall in love? Not necessarily fall in love with your captor. It's probably not the same thing. But these girls didn't leave for years and years. It's like the dogs. And when you look at how this guy was cited in the Unabomber's book, it was the Unabomber saying that people are the dogs. People are turned by their government and the technology used by their government. And the learned helplessness is intentionally created into them, and they are the dogs that will not leave the crate because they have been tortured psychologically for so long.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. That's right. There's only three major influences on Kaczynski's book. The other two, one of them is Jacques Ellul, who wrote Propaganda and Men's Attitudes and a book on the Technological Society. I can't remember the other one, but the other one is this guy. And this guy has such a role in power. He's been connected to power for, it seems like, longer than before either one of us were born. And the only reference to him, I can't remember if I told you this part of it last show, and Epstein is, there's a magazine, I think it was called Edge Magazine, and it was an online publication for the most elite scientists in the world that Epstein was the largest donor to. It's where he could go find all of these scientists to try and compromise them and get into their orbit. And they used to have these dinners every year. And there was an article interviewing Martin Seligman. I'll figure out how to say it eventually, where he's bragging about being friends with Epstein. He's bragging about being friends with movie directors, very arrogant, boastful. And these dinners had different names every year. It's very elitist, very exclusive. One of the names was like the Billionaires Club dinner. Another name is the Mind Control dinner.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, there was not.
I promise you 100%. 100%, that is what they called it.
Did they ask everyone how they liked the dinner afterwards?
Right? They were like, that was your colleague, Dr. Frank. Yeah.
I loved the dinner.
Yeah.
It was better than cats.
Right. Yeah.
I would eat it again and again.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It was another one was like the some weird space alien. It was all these very arrogant, we are the upper echelon of society and we don't follow the rules type attitudes with the naming. But that's him. That's our society, according to Ted Kaczynski and probably many others, is largely controlled and definitely influenced by the theory of learned helplessness.
Mm.
And the guy who established that theory, who's been paid tens of billions of dollars by the government and been an advisor to the government because of it, was someone who helped Epstein get off because he was cited in this letter, because Epstein helped fund the creation of his institute that all this stuff is based on. I even found a freaking article that was like, Epstein's victims are running out of time to get help for their trauma that they need. They need to go to the Positive Psychology Center. I'm like, that's what Epstein, like, that's crazy.
What a trap.
It's crazy.
Wow. What a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think we just got to go off the grid, Brad.
Dude,
got to build a propaganda report compound.
Probably. So the Getty events seem to link to those. What the Getty events, what are those? Control Alt Dig? It's funny. So I saw Veritas guy, what's his name? He used to be Veritas. I can't remember what his new group is. He tweeted the other day, he was like, I don't think we're going to get any Epstein files. We need to do, the alt community needs to do the research themselves. And I'm like, yeah, dude, hello. This is what you're going to find. Everybody's going to repeat, this is what you're going to find, and I can't wait till Ian Carroll is the one who discovers it. The Meta Gala, the host of Rainbow Room and all that. Yeah. James, that's right. So speaking of Rainbow, James O'Keefe, switch on a lighter note, because I did want to get your thoughts on this, Ian.
Yeah, man.
There's Atlanta. The city of Atlanta, I know you guys aren't from Atlanta, but this might happen to your city too. They want to know, Atlanta wants residents to weigh in on the city's first ever LGBTQ center. Can you weigh in, Ian?
Well, I'm body positive, so yeah, I could weigh in. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not afraid to get on the scale?
Not afraid to get on a scale, because scales are totally, it's a fabrication. It's a social construct.
Yeah,
Weight
scales
is a social
are.
construct.
It's not real. You're
It's
floating.
not real.
Yeah,
we can't look. I mean, it's not. Jeez. I mean,
I like to roll fat lesbians
this is
across
something
that.
Reginald would say, isn't it?
You're right. Yeah.
I heard Reginald talk about this before, actually.
Yeah.
Reginald
loves this.
Reginald's point is that weight is a total construct because, in England, they don't even use pounds; they use kilos.
Right. They don't even use
so
teeth.
they can't
over
even
there either.
agree on that. So 100 kilos, 100. So he's got a whole.
He's got a whole thing.
Yeah,
he's got a
whole
kilo.
thing. He's going to be coming out with a X thread on it.
You know a lot about him for never having.
We had the same agent.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I imagine, I think I remember seeing Reginald roll a fat lesbian across Atlanta's LGBT rainbow. We have rainbow crosswalks, by the way, for those who aren't in Atlanta.
This is the rainbow crosswalk
at Midtown.
It's like a whole rainbow. Like you can't.
So what we have in Atlanta, for those who haven't been here, is in Midtown. Well, Atlanta is a couple parts. We have the ghetto Atlanta, where you better get used to sleeping to train noises and gunshots, and then we have the homosexual home, like capital of America, Atlanta, where we have gay crosswalks that have
where all the
reproduced.
dinks live. All the dinks, all the gay dinks.
They've reproduced, and I was going to meet up with Ian a few months ago, and I drove by this crosswalk you see on screen, which is by Piedmont Park, and I literally saw some giant gay bear who looked like he was 6'6", carrying his little gay boyfriend who looked like he was 5'1", dangling him like he was a child, but he was a full-grown adult just loving it. And it's Midtown Atlanta is very, very gay, and that's fine. But they mark them, it's like a gay bat signal with the crosswalks we have over there. Yeah. And there were these articles recently that were like concerns in Midtown Atlanta as hit and runs at Rainbow Flag Crosswalk have increased.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with the fact that everyone who drives to the city is running from the cops.
Is a
fucking maniac, and they're driving like they're running from the cops around here. It's fucking insane.
It's like there's probably always been that level of hit and run stuff, but you paint a gay flag on the ground, and suddenly it's a hate crime. But suddenly people are targeting gay people is the implication. So stupid.
And the problem is people come out here from California and they're like, oh, if I step out into the street, they'll stop for me. No, they won't. They're going to run your fucking ass over and keep going.
No.
They're not California. They're not stopping for you here in Atlanta.
Yeah. And the implication too that if somebody gets hit by a car in a gay crosswalk, that person must be gay, that only gays cross the street.
I think I know. It is one of the things I do like about living in the South versus living out West. It's because out West, they'd be like, why did you hit that guy with a car? And out here, they're like, why did you walk in front of the car?
Yeah. And they're like,
and I like that mentality better. Why did you walk in front of the car?
That's something like Trump would say. What would you walk in front of the car? We were trying to get some.
Yeah, we got whale sharks. You can go swimming with the sharks.
Yeah,
we got a great primate exhibit at the zoo.
We need to start like a protest to get them to dye the water rainbow colors and to dye the hair of all the tigers like the rainbow flag color.
I got a little tourist trivia tip for you. You probably don't even know this. Do you know that there's a bird of prey show at Zoo Atlanta?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is. Do you want to know who wrote the script?
Did you write it?
Oh, I wrote the script for the Bird of Prey show. I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. How long has that been going, or when does it go on? When can we
I
see
wrote
that?
it probably over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Is the dialogue still relevant, or did you use a lot of a lot of slurs? I used
a lot of slurs.
Yeah.
I used a lot. I misgendered everybody.
Bird. Yeah. It's like you fucking fag bird.
Yeah.
You know, with
I did learn though that owls
mouth
are stupid
sex
as
like
shit.
Reginald.
That's what,
do what?
Yeah, the bird handlers all told me that owls are dumb as shit. That owls are stupid. It's a total myth that they're wise. That owls are stupid. They even showed me this one owl that wouldn't even be able to eat on its own. It's so dumb.
Why wouldn't it be able to? How can it be an animal?
It can't see its own food when it's up close. I don't know. That's what they were.
So it's an owl that's completely dependent on humans.
Yeah, it's a retarded owl. Almost owls are retarded. Most, like 90% of owls.
So how do you find how these owls survive? Humans have to find them and stuff
numbers,
food in them?
sheer numbers. They keep reproducing, just sheer numbers. That's how they're surviving. Most owls don't make it past 2-3 weeks.
So like I see these videos of people be like, look at my dog and the raccoon's playing, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute a little bit, but then I saw one the other day that was like, look at this dog and this raccoon are best friends. I'm like, that's too far. We don't need not raccoons. We don't need owls and dogs being best friends in videos.
No, we don't need that.
Who has an owl in there? I guess it's one of these completely dependent owls.
Stupid fucking owls.
And I love that they ask for the feedback. So if you look at the feedback here, let's show some of it.
Yeah.
Because the immediate feedback was not positive that I saw.
Of course not.
And they're not going to listen to any of this feedback.
They're free to go anywhere. They don't need their own space. I love it.
They're not going to listen to any of this feedback.
No, they're in fact, they're like, based on your feedback, we're painting every building and we're encasing Atlanta in a gay rainbow dome.
Look at this one. I don't think anyone's sexual preference should be celebrated. Gay or there's no heterosexual.
And I love this other one. Then stay home, baby girl.
Yeah, just stay home, baby.
Yeah,
Try-
see, it's a flipped thing. Now they're like, in public, we need to celebrate all this stuff. When in the past, we used to be like, hey, how about you celebrate all this stuff in the privacy of your own home? I don't care or need to know that you're gay. And you're kind of gaslighting me. It's a straw man thing. The whole gay pride thing, the whole premise of gay pride is a straw man. Nobody, I've seen the gay community. You have lots of pride.
You've seen him up close.
I've seen them up close.
Yeah.
I've circulated among them, befriended
You've
many of them.
penetrated the community.
Well, I wouldn't say I've penetrated them, but
You raw dog that community.
I have worked very closely, and I know lots of gay people. I grew up in Orlando. Orlando is the San Francisco of the South. That's how many gay people are.
It's the Atlanta of Florida.
I would say Orlando is gayer than Atlanta.
Really?
Hell yes, by far.
Well, you
By
might have
far.
a challenge on your hand, dude.
Yeah.
I'd say that. Do you see this comment here? Let's get rid of the women's shelters too. Right? Because that's what that's saying. Get rid of-
Okay. Yeah. How about
all right, let's get rid
How
of
about
them.
why don't we put up some men's shelters in their place?
And then this person signed some men's shelters.
Yeah.
It says that's actually not true. And the vile specimen in the White House and his co-conspirators are taking away not only resources, but making it more dangerous for members of the LGBTQ community.
That's what it is. Gay people won't know where to cross the street if we get
There's
rid of these crosswalks.
they'll all be just walking up
They'll
and
be
down.
like, where do I
and-
cross? This is where
Yeah.
all the straight people cross. I can't cross here. I need my own crosswalk.
A woman might put her vagina on my face if I try and cross right here.
Yeah.
What's great about this one here is Trump, I don't remember the guy's name, but he has named multiple high-ranking officials that are homosexuals. He's put them in high-ranking places, the highest-ranking officials.
Yeah,
ever.
and he's done first. He's broke the gay ceiling on so many.
Yeah, but they're like,
The ass ceiling? Is that what you call it?
yeah, he broke the ass plank
He
ceiling.
broke the ass ceiling.
So, yeah, that's what's going on here. Did you see the story about Kristi Noem's purse getting stolen?
Dude, first of all, I knew we were going to talk about this. And when I heard the story, I was like, we're going to talk about this. And there's no way Brad's going to believe this purse was really stolen.
You know, I kind of think it could have been stolen because I think she's very stupid. And I'm just imagining.
How could you say that? She's hot.
That's right. Sorry. All hot girls are right most of the time. Ask Bill Belichick. Hot girls can coach UNC football.
Dude, if you went into any laboratory in the country, it's nothing but sexy chicks in lab coats.
Just wanting to suck you off between beakers.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, right. So the story is, you probably heard it, but Homeland Secretary, the ICE Barbie, who LARPs as an ICE agent, looking like a sex doll, was robbed on Easter Sunday night while out to dinner with her family, surrounded by Secret Service. And her purse, which was like a Gucci, along with the $3,000 and her DHS bag, or DHS badge inside of it, were also stolen. Right in front of them. There's images and a video of the guy kind of like, he's right behind him.
Is he a busboy?
No, he was stolen by a guy, and here's how he did it. He got near her and reached his foot underneath and kind of pulled her. Do women just throw their purse on the ground? I'm
thought
curious
to
about
myself, I was like, is this a thing they do thinking it's more secure? I'll just put it under my chair.
it. Right. Yeah, we need my man card back. For what, bad Christian?
Dude,
You're not getting my man card.
I'll pick it up next
I
week.
cross on the heterosexual
I will
crosswalk in
pick
Atlanta.
it up next week. We're going to get his man card back.
Yeah, I say nothing but hate slurs to the gay crosswalk over. Not the people, just the crosswalk.
Have you ever crossed on that crosswalk, Brad?
Fuck
I do.
no.
I go, ooh, 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 ooh,
Yeah, I
cross.
immediately. Yeah, you feel the jizz and smell it.
I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay.
Oh, don't rape me, don't you? Thanks. Oh yeah. Well, look, she's hot, but she makes herself look like a sex doll. She doesn't
Yeah.
look like that.
That's kind of.
She actually doesn't look like that when she takes it all off. Okay. Now I'm not saying I wouldn't. All right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that she's a dumb bitch. That's all. Yeah, I think a lot of hot bitches are dumb. And so the guy pulled the purse over, and he's wearing a COVID mask. She got it stolen by a guy with a COVID mask on, and she didn't even notice it was stolen until she got up to go do some blow in the bathroom or something. And
Lauren Boebert was in there.
She's always in there. Lauren Boebert's in every bathroom with some cocaine.
Yeah.
And so it took him a little while to find this guy who did it.
How?
He knocked off because he was so sly about it, right? And he knocked off 4 other people in the area, apparently, in 8 days, they say.
But how did they find him?
Well, they used the camera footage from the places.
He was wearing a mask.
He was wearing a mask, right? And I don't know. He probably didn't have a lot of a paper trail because he was an illegal immigrant. A homeless illegal immigrant stole the Gucci purse of the deportation Barbie.
And she was at a restaurant, right?
With her family. Why would they? Why would
How
they?
did he get so close without anyone noticing?
There's pictures.
None of this adds up.
I know. They say that he just kind of walked over and sat down next to her and looked over. Maybe he had that COVID mask on, disarming, and he slid his foot over. I think you should go try that. I think go try and see if you can steal somebody's purse by sliding your foot.
No, I think what happens is when you wear the COVID mask, you become invisible to people.
Is that what it is? Right, dude.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Do you remember how
my butt keeps getting tickled in Midtown?
Yeah, dude. You gotta put a mask on.
Who did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems a little weird that they would have. I think since her job is to go out there and pretend to be a tough badass, to LARP as an ICE agent, taking down criminal MS-13 gangs. God, I think they would have they would lock the doors of any restaurant she went out to in public and
this
not.
Is the thing. Trump should go harder. In the next 100 days, let's get the YouTube show. The ICE YouTube show, hosted by Tom Holman and Kristi Noem, where she goes out in the field and like personally busts, and he, you know what I'm talking, like set it up like a live PD kind of show, dude. We're gonna need to go hard on this stuff.
Yeah, get hard. Yeah,
need to get real fucking hard, man.
No, it would surprise me if they did. They sent Libs of TikTok out with her. They sent Epstein binder bitch. Which, like, is they got to.
So
that's annoying. They need to recognize when it's really nobody wants to see Epstein binder bitch going out LARPing with Kristi Noem like an ICE agent.
I know.
So you probably had to go shortly. So
shortly, 10
minutes.
See.
Let's talk about Bill Belichick. Let's do that.
And his daughter girlfriend.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, for those of you who don't know, he is the sugar daddy of the University of North Carolina's new football coach. And
no, you're kidding me.
Do what? No, he is North Carolina's new football coach. But she is on. There's images of her on the field walking around with him. She's 24 years old. He's 73. University of North Carolina is worried about. The first time I saw that, I said, "This is bad." He didn't have his fucking wife out there walking around.
I had a friend that used to really like to date inappropriately young girls. Okay, when you're in your 40s, you don't need to be dating someone who
is it Jeffrey Epstein?
Is under 25. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's just.
What do they say?
40s,
they say it's you can cut your age in half and add 7 years.
But look, point is, like, at some point you have nothing to talk about. Your age gap. Like, what the fuck do they talk about?
Well,
first of all, like, is he watching any of the same shows? Do they read the same book? What the fuck do they talk about together?
Have you seen the picture of him on the beach where he's holding her up like a Superman by his legs?
Yeah, I guess they don't talk. I guess he's just like.
Some people speculate that she was a high-end like
prostitute
or something.
This is the closest thing to love he's capable of.
He is such a sociopath when you listen to him. I noticed it was weird when I saw North Carolina's practice, and she was wearing North Carolina colors, and she was in the middle of the field with Belichick and the players. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Who would have their wife or girlfriend on the field coaching football, especially when she's 24 and hot around a bunch of 18 to 24-year-olds? Okay, and here's what happened during an interview he did where he's marketing his book, which she then posted a letter that he wrote making fun of the media or going after the media, playing Taylor Swift song over the image. Here's the Bill Belichick. His girlfriend apparently interrupted this interview multiple times. They only showed one time, and at one point walked out and kind of, they said, seemed like expected him to follow and held the interview up for 30 minutes.
I love it.
I love it, too. I can't wait to see how they do. Maybe she'll be a good football coach. I say put her in a headset. Belichick's going to be like, timeout. And she's going to be like, I didn't tell you to call a timeout right then. What are you talking about?
Keep playing.
And the referee's
stupid.
Right, yeah. The referee's going to be, I don't want to be involved with this.
I'm just going to listen to her, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here it is.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your
I want to take it back for a second there.
During our interview.
You have Jordan right over there.
Somebody made the great comment that Bill Belichick, because his shirt has a bunch of holes in it, says Navy, he's wearing a shirt older than his girlfriend.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
That's all it is there, but it's
God. You see what I'm saying, man? Does that look fun to deal with when you're 73?
No, dude, it doesn't.
That looks exhausting.
I thought that this would show it, but that video was a little short. He asked him during the interview, he's like, you seem to be a little different, like you're on Instagram, you're on social media. And he said something about, there was a picture of you two on the beach. And if you haven't seen it, he's laying on the beach in a bathing suit with his legs up in the air, and she's like his legs are like holding her up, and she's doing the Superman. And I'm just wondering who that poor photographer is who was forced to take this picture over and over again. And he brought that up, and Belichick kind of weirdly was like, I'm on these platforms, but I don't look at these. I'm not on these, but I don't look. So like he hasn't seen any of the stuff his girlfriend is posting.
Okay.
Which would be funny. It's just she posted a letter that he wrote saying, of course, the media is going to try and create controversy, but it'll help my book sell, with Taylor Swift music over it.
That's fucking hysterical.
Anyone with an opinion is jealous. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
I
honestly don't care.
I don't
about
either.
It.
I think it's funny.
I have an opinion about my own life and how it would relate to that. I don't care what he does.
So why I wanted to bring it up was this story, because Tech plays North Carolina, and when North Carolina first hired Bill Belichick, I was like, oh great, so they're going to lose to them. Mm-hmm. But then I started seeing this happening, and I'm like, Bill Belichick, this is why all these NFL coaches probably didn't hire him. They saw the warning signs. And so now after this interview, North Carolina, there they go. Look at her wearing the North Carolina colors there, looking at him. UNC reportedly concerned about Jordan Hudson's influence over head coach Bill Belichick. Of course they're concerned, dude. Who lets they didn't hire the chick to come on the field during practice, and distract the player. Imagine you're a player and your coach keeps getting interrupted by his girlfriend who's your age and he's 73.
Why is she? I mean, why is
She was like an
there
Instagram model. Some
in the
speculate
interview?
because she's
But
followed by a bunch of porn
also,
stars.
yeah. Oh, is she really?
That's what they say. I don't
No.
know if that means anything. They say it's not sitting well, and there's a growing sense it's
Why would
definitely
you
going to
bring
become
her
a
into the
problem.
interview.
Do what?
Why would you just make her wait in the car?
No, he brings her to everything.
Make her wait in the car, leave it running.
Some people are like, this is elder abuse. Elder abuse. Some people are like, blink if you're being held hostage. It's unclear what Hudson's role is, but it's clear that she's serving as some kind of public relations manager to him because of his influence on him and social media manager for sure. Earlier this year, Belichick asked North Carolina staffers to copy Hudson on certain emails, specifically those regarding social media and web content. That would make me a little bit uncomfortable too. If you want to win football games, you don't need pussy getting in the way. Okay.
Yeah.
The request doesn't seem that out of ordinary, as it makes sense that the 72-year-old Belichick would want his 24-year-old girlfriend to handle anything regarding social media. Does it? Did he? Was his wife involved in was she walking around in the field? Was she interrupting?
A 24-year-old, I mean, I think that's what they're saying, is a 24-year-old would maybe have an aptitude for such a thing.
Yeah, well. The Athletic's Mac Barker reported earlier this month that Hudson emailed UNC's social media team asking them to promote Bill's son, Steve Belichick, as his own established, credible entity. Steve Belichick was eventually named defensive coordinator. Whatever Hudson's role, it does seem to be posing a serious issue at the moment, but it appears the higher-ups at North Carolina fear things could – what if they go like 0-12? Or what if the first game, the UNC runs out and then she runs out with them and she's wearing one of those headsets on the field? She's going to be on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
She's definitely going to be on the sidelines. This is going to be great to watch, dude. Imagine being an announcer – and you got Belichick's hot 24-year-old girlfriend on the sidelines. They're down 70.
She comes over, grabs the microphone.
Right. She's like, run the down zone. And he's like, what? Down zone. And the players are like, what's the down zone?
Don't fucking be stupid. You know what it is.
Yeah. Fumble it. What? I can't wait. Or maybe she's a genius football coach. Look, bad Christian. I don't have a problem with this. With it all, him. He's divorced. He's trying to get a little young piece there.
Yeah, more power to him. Man.
It sure. Might creep. I don't care. All I'm saying is, if I'm the UNC football fan, I'm gonna be a little worried about next season. That's all I'm saying. I thought I was getting one of the greatest coaches of all time, and I got some 24-year-old Instagram model as my coach. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all I got for today. Ian, is there anything you want to add?
No, man. Nothing for me other than be here Thursday night.
Thursday night, we'll do it again.
We can do this shit again.
Pat and his cat says, how many Super Bowl rings does he have? Is he really more worried about it? No, he's not more worried about it. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking as a Georgia Tech fan. If this were Georgia Tech, I'd be like, well, I didn't think things could get worse, but here we are.
Yeah. Because you would be so excited at first.
Yes.
You'd be like, finally,
yes.
Georgia Tech. Finally, we're going to recruit some players.
Right,
People
totally.
over here. And then
right.
she shows up, and he just sits back and lets her coach.
Right. And maybe she can help recruit, but don't let her in the locker room.
Yeah,
don't let her in the locker room.
Dude. You know how that's going to turn out.
She can turn the team around. They will turn her
You ever see
around.
Porky's?
Yeah. I've seen Porky's.
Yep, Kim Cattrall.
A number of times.
Porky's.
Was she in Porky's? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she plays Lassie.
Yeah. I didn't realize. I have to go back and watch that. Is she hot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, some people on X, they commented on it in a way. I think I didn't make my perspective of it clear that I don't care about him banging a hot chick. I'm viewing this from the perspective of a UNC football fan.
Would you date Bill Belichick, though? If he said, Brad, I'll let you coach UNC if you date me. would you coach? Would you give Bill Belichick hand jobs and make him comfortable, make him happy, just so you could coach UNC?
Can I pull my hand inside my shirt and put on a prosthetic arm?
No, dude, you gotta really.
I gotta use my real arm.
You gotta love this dude.
He won't. He won't know. He won't know. If I can not touch it.
He's gonna know. He's gonna know. I'll tell him. I'll tell him.
Would you do that?
I'll call him up. Like, hey,
I get my dream of being able to coach UNC, and you make me have to jerk this guy off to do it. You're sick. You're sick, dude.
Would you give him some mouth sex?
No, I wouldn't. You must have been talking to Reginald.
I heard the show.
All right. Well,
yeah, nobody's a UNC football fan.
I bet the locker room's getting a lot of that up there in Chapel Hill. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys next time. Propagandafight.com, at Freedom Act Radio, Reginald V. Actor, hello, Covelio. Is that correct?
Hello, Covelio, yeah.
Covelio. We will.
No, Covelio. Just hello, Covelio.
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 Hello, Covello. Twitter. Great recruiting tool. That's right. Would you like to have sex with your football coach? Everybody get in line. This is the new challenge for OnlyFans.
I know. It's so funny.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.
All right. Later.